People of France, people of great spirit, people who decapitated Louis and make the best pain au chocolat. You're a great people, for fuck's sake. You've made France proud. You've made Europe proud. Heck, you've made the world proud. Apart, of course, from the Americans who have no idea this is happening and are still debating whether to drop Biden. Yes, the answer is yes. It's still yes, by the way. Anyway, we don't often do good news, so I'm a bit rusty. Vive la France, vive la révolution, vive le croissant, Luigi.
Vive la Revolution. We made it.
We made it. You want the numbers as well in a stunning result of the second round of French parliamentary elections. The Leftist Alliance, the Nouveau Front Populaire, came first with 182 seats, followed by Macron's party, vanquishing Le Pen's National Rally to third place, Luigi, with 143 seats.
Who was leading in the first round and was looking increasingly likely to seize control of parliament.
I mean, I hope people watch our episodes. Yes, she was predicted to be first, and in a stunning reversal, the left rose supreme, Luigi. Now, they didn't get a majority, just to...
When George says a stunning reversal, it's difficult to explain just how stunning this reversal was. I think nobody, including the left themselves...
and the Madame of Evil. Stand. Speechless, Luigi.
Everybody was super surprised by this. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a very high turnout, even on the second round.
Historically high, 67%. Last time it was around 40-something, the second round turnout. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine. I mean, we don't often do good news, do we? We sound rusty, Luigi. We sound rusty. And I've got a... go on.
When we do, we bask in its glory, George.
we need to do it with panache. And I've got a response, Luigi, a very fitting response. I know you're gonna love. From the great Luigi, Jules Koundé. From the great Jules, who said about the result of the elections, congratulations to all the French people who mobilized so that this beautiful country that is France does not find itself governed by the extreme right. Yeah. Beautiful words. I've got a lot, Luigi. I've got our favorite Sanchez, Pedro, hailed France's rejection of the far right. He welcomed the shock result alongside the UK's general election, where the Labour Party, we've discussed this, where Sir Good Things won his landslide. Saying both countries, we've got US Senator
Bernard, first of his name, protector of Vermont, bringer of human-friendly policies, Sanders congratulated the French left for taking on right-wing extremism and winning. And then, Luigi, it's a who's who, Luigi. Wow.
Brazil's president.
The creme de la creme.
The creme de la creme of the left. We've got Brazil's president, Luis Inácio Lula da Silva, congratulated the NFP, tweeting that he was very happy with the demonstration of greatness and maturity that saw leftist and centrist political forces unite to prevent the far right.
The funny part is, and that concludes our list of left-wing politicians around the world.
Almost. I've got
there's a couple more.
Just one. I've got one more. Luigi promised him. Where is he? The great leader, the great Olaf, is relieved by the French election results. I mean, Tusk also, he wrote a beautiful poem. I don't know if you saw the beautiful poem.
Wow. I mean, seriously. I mean, that was probably
yesterday.
That was written by AI.
Personal account, Luigi. Personal account. Enough to be happy in Warsaw. I mean, Europe saved, baby. Europe saved.
who would have expected that? Two consecutive elections in the UK. I mean, the UK, you can't really say that the left came into power. It's a left party governed by
Europe
the
saved Luigi.
yeah. I mean, it's a little bit too early to celebrate, and I mean, this
The
wasn't really.
French deliver, Luigi. Look at the
This,
split screen.
yeah, let me put it this way: the French election result was not so much a victory as a loss being averted. Does
Yes,
that
I
make
mean,
sense? Everybody was
I,
expecting the loss with the far right coming in, and that didn't happen, but it's still short of a victory.
I still think it's tremendous for the left because, I mean, of course, if they had gotten the majority, that would have been the ultimate of ultimate victories. But I mean, going in being first, Le Pen, and then coming in last, I mean, out of the three groups, pathetic, Luigi. A
They,
tremendous accomplishment for the
they served
French.
they served here a cold dish of foie gras.
An insult if ever there was one, Luigi. So we go
Okay.
in terms
Yeah.
in yeah, I mean, before we go in terms of what's gonna happen now, just news just came out that he has asked the prime minister to stay in power as PM for now. But I mean, we're talking about Luigi until the 18th of July,
Which
until the 18th when the assembly reconvenes, because at that point, if they don't want him, they can no confidence him.
yeah.
And we went through the numbers. We're talking about biggest party in parliament is the leftist alliance. Then we've got Macron pretty close, 112,
Yeah.
163, and then 143 for Le
It's
Pen.
almost
Those
divided three ways between those three
almost,
alliances. Yeah.
yeah, and the Republicans over there.
Which brings us to what, George? Are we looking at an unlikely alliance between Macron and the left, or is it going to be
Hmm.
deadlock for what, 3 years?
I mean, in terms of what's going to happen, who's going to govern the country now, the day after, if you will, I personally lean on close to nothing, Luigi. I lean on parliamentary deadlock because they haven't had a coalition government in a long time. They're not used to it. The numbers are very tight. Already, we've got Macron and Mélenchon ruling out a coalition with each other.
Which I don't
Eh,
understand. I mean, Mélenchon ruled it out, but like if Macron goes begging,
I mean,
then
yeah, but I mean, they've
yeah.
been ruling it out non-stop, Luigi.
There is a third option in all of this, and the third option is you find some unity government with some like technocrat at the
Still,
helm.
yeah. But this has to be done with the support of the socialists as well.
Of course, but we are the
Uh,
largest bloc right now in parliament.
I mean, the leftist alliance, Luigi. I mean, if you break down the numbers, we've got 182, and within that, the biggest bloc is Mélenchon's. I've got them right here. France Unbowed with 74, and then the Socialist Party significantly increased its seats to 59, and
Mhm.
then there, and we've got the Greens with 28, and within that, I think 3, 4 to the Communists. So, I mean,
Yeah,
okay, say you exclude the France Unbowed, it still gets very tight, 28-59. Add that up to 163. You need 289 to get a majority. So you need the
math,
Republicans as
George.
well.
You are making me do maths. No, I'm just kidding.
What I'm saying is that you need the Republicans as well. So you need an alliance between the soft left and then the rest of them. But to do that, I mean, we've been through their manifesto, Luigi, what they've agreed. Do you want to look through it quickly? I mean, raise the
Yeah.
minimum wage, childcare places, cap the price of essential foods, electricity, gas, petrol, boost green measures. We've got the controversial changes to the retirement age. They want to reverse that. I think that's a complete no-go if there's going to be a compromise, right? I mean, Macron's
For
party,
sure.
Macron, will never agree to reverse it. So let's say get rid of that, but then you go wages, linking salaries to inflation. It's literally a left-wing wish list
Yeah,
of items.
exactly. Exactly. I mean,
Literally.
you're gonna negotiate your way into getting a couple of those at
I
best. So
mean, Macron needs to accept the couple if this is going to happen. Otherwise, the socialists, I don't know how far their popularity is going to carry them then. Because
yeah,
it's Mélenchon's, I mean, Mélenchon is that type of guy. He's going to come hard at them
yeah,
if he perceives that they're being too soft with the centrists. Because he's
Mhm.
already ruled out any alliance. I've got his
Yeah.
statement, Luigi.
Well, to be honest, I think that's a great move from him in the sense that it allows him to consolidate power as the largest sort of voting bloc. If you are in a deadlocked parliament, then you are not to blame for all of that. And maybe it sets up an election in 2 or 3 years where it's not
Maybe,
the far right, but
maybe,
but the
but
left that comes in.
100%, but I would counter that he didn't increase his haul. It was the socialists that actually did this
Okay.
time, and that contributed to the increase. He's been fairly stable.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you've got that. I mean, he came out immediately after the election and stated that they should implement our manifesto and only our manifesto. But I think that's too far because
Yeah, I
he
mean,
didn't get a majority, dude.
this is let's put it this way. This is a negotiation starting position.
Maybe.
Like when you say I'm not gonna negotiate, it's usually like the opening gun in a negotiation round.
He's very caustic as a character. I'm not certain he's willing to do that. I'm
Yeah.
willing to bet he's gonna go with your first strategy of refusing any coalition and just
Mhm.
staying on the outside because this is not an acceptable. I mean, you didn't
Yeah,
get a
yeah, yeah.
majority, dude. You get a majority, of course you implement your fucking manifesto. But you didn't manage it. You came first, which means you get most of it is gonna be your manifesto. You need to be a bit more flexible. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem it's gonna be anyway. I mean, he came out ruling out any alliance with Macron.
Yeah,
They
but
did test
yeah,
each other.
I'm sure about that. But at the end of the day, it's about how much Macron offers to him.
Oh yeah, yeah, but
In yeah,
I don't think he's gonna be willing to go. He's gonna be willing to offer things to the socialists, the Greens, and even the communists. But how much of what he offers them is gonna be enough for the Republicans on the other side to accept and
true.
form this very thin majority? This is gonna be extremely tricky. The socialists shouldn't compromise without getting anything from Macron. And if they get anything real from Macron, the Republicans are not gonna vote for that. I'm not gonna agree to it. I think it's gonna be
So it's
deadlock.
a
Is what I'm gonna say.
deadlock. Nice.
Deadlock, deadlock,
Dum, 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 dum.
American style.
Nothing gets done except for anti-China things.
Because can all agree on that.
So speaking of the Americans, what else do we
Yeah.
have on our plate?
I mean, I think I've already mentioned it, right? That they've been rather preoccupied with questions of exactly how senile Biden is.
Yes, and let's answer it this way: from one to senile, he is.
Yeah.
Where am I? Where am
He-
I, George?
Very senile. I think what Luigi's getting at, very senile. I mean, he's been going all out, going to churches, I think, going to rallies with other brain damaged
Yeah,
people. He's been having interviews.
I saw that interview with George Stephanopoulos. It was a 20-minute interview, and he could barely get through it. He was like,
Abysmal.
I had a cold, and I was sick. I was sick, George.
I thought it was abysmal, Luigi. I mean, right at the start, I think. It was right at the start. I watched it as well.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
George said, "Did you watch the debate?" And Biden replied, "Oh, no, I don't think so." I was like, fuck it, show's over, wrap it up, fucking wrap it up, go fucking watch what you did, Joey, come back and tell us what the fuck was that. And, what the fuck, dude? I don't think so.
And so,
Oh my
look,
Lord. But it
I've
wasn't
got,
good. It didn't get good reviews. It didn't get good reviews, this interview.
yeah, but first of all, it was a 20-minute interview, which is like for
Pathetic.
no, let me put it this way. The entire country is concerned that you might be too old for the job and potentially senile. And your way of assuring them that's not the case is doing a 20-minute interview.
And I mean,
I
at
mean,
the end, you remember? Yeah, of course, it's too short. And then at the end, when he was asked, you remember, what would you feel if he failed? This didn't get at all good reviews.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president at 36% approval get reelected.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the good job as I know I can do, that's what this is about. Look, George, think of it this way. You've heard me say this before. I think the United States and the world is at an inflection point. the things that happen in the next several years are going to determine what the next 6, 7 decades look like. And who's going to be able to hold NATO together like me? Who's going to be able to be in a position where I'm able to keep the Pacific Basin in a position where we're at least checkmating China now? Who's going to do that? Who has that reach? Who knows all these? We're going to have, I guess, a good way to judge me is you're going to have now the NATO conference here in the United States next week. Come listen.
They asked him, George asked him, how would you feel if he failed and Trump got elected? And he replied, as long as I do my best, George, it's okay. Look, Chuck, look, who's gonna hold NATO together? I was like, dude, Joey, maybe Kamala, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone who can string a fucking sentence together and isn't Donald Trump. Have you maybe considered this?
The incredible thing. So let's cover a little bit. Let's cover a little bit of the fallout since that debate. So
it's been incredible.
Biden has cratered in opinion polls already, and I mean opinion polls are very slow moving. Like the real bottom line being most of the country wants a different candidate. Most of the Democratic Party wants a different candidate. Biden has fallen in opinion polls, and if you look at betting markets, my God, it's even way worse. So as we speak, let me double check it. Biden is below Kamala Harris to become the Democratic Party nominee. So Kamala, the vice president, is getting 43% chances of being the eventual presidential nominee, and Biden is getting 40%. Gavin Newsom at 9%, Gretchen Whitmer at 8%, and drum roll, Michelle Obama at 7%.
I saw the poll, Luigi. I have to give it to you. She's the only one, I think, double digits ahead of Trump.
Yes, again, that's exactly what I wanted to get to.
She doesn't want to run, Luigi.
No, but hear me out. So if you take opinion polls, so what George just mentioned, and you take a hypothetical Trump matchup versus Kamala Harris or other prominent Democrats, Trump destroys all of them, with the exception of Michelle Obama, who actually destroys Trump in a hypothetical one-to-one. So, long story short, the only way Trump loses this election is if the great Michelle comes in, and as George pointed out, she doesn't want to run. So what do we do with that, George?
I still think that, ever since the debate, I think Kamala and the rest of them have edged Biden ahead in all the polls against Trump, but they're all still not ahead of Trump.
They're losing. They're losing.
Apart from Michelle, as Luigi said. I don't know why they keep polling her. She keeps coming clearly ahead.
We love
Listen,
her.
people, the people love Michelle. But if she doesn't want to run, she doesn't want to run.
I actually went back and saw some interviews of her when they asked her, and she was basically she was very resolute about that. She basically said she's teaching her kids that they would be crazy if they went into politics. So
I know. So that's why I'm always been that there's no way she doesn't want that.
What I'm saying is at this point, at least with the data we have today, Trump only loses if it's her, and she is not gonna run most likely. So it looks like Trump has won regardless of who the Democrats put in there, George. And reflecting all of that, the stock market is in a really good mood since that debate.
But
the stock market is hitting record highs after record highs, with the assumption, I think the assumption is not only that Trump win, but the Republicans sweep Congress. They take control of the House and the Senate, and then it's a blank check. We can cut taxes. We can deregulate the country back to the medieval era. I mean, it's going to be
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, since you mentioned the shit stain, who's just been riding around golf carts for the past week.
Wow.
Dude, I think he's been keeping quiet. He's keeping low because he doesn't want Biden to pull out. That's what I think. He came out, though, with a beautiful video. Did you see it? He's a broken down pile of crap.
By the way, it's not just Trump. Most of the Republicans have stopped attacking Biden in the desperate hope that, he's not.
I think so as well. Look at him counting fucking money like a fucking mob boss. This is incredible, Luigi. This is incredible. We have some donors pulling out.
One final thing we should mention, why Kamala Harris is far more
Oh,
likely,
yeah.
why she's leading in betting markets, why she's such a favorite to be the nominee.
Even though she's
because
not very, she's not, sorry, Liz, she's not very charismatic. So you wouldn't expect her, although she's the vice president. But beyond that, Luigi will explode.
she's got the credentials, but she doesn't have the popularity. What she does have is a very big war chest. So when people donate money to Joe Biden, to the Biden campaign, they are donating to the Biden-Harris campaign, Kamala Harris. So if Biden drops out, the only other person that can use that $240 million, almost a quarter of $1 billion in the bank, is Kamala Harris. If she's not the nominee, that money has to be returned back to the donor. So it's not Kamala Harris versus Gavin Newsom versus some other hypothetical Democrat. It's Kamala Harris with $240 million versus everyone else at $0 million.
Kamala, we know you can do it. In Kamala, we trust.
No, we don't. No,
we have to. We have to, because I have to endorse this, Luigi, because fucking Biden is coming out all in. He had another, by the way, he had another whatever phone in a couple of fucking hours ago at Morning Joe. I'm not gonna make the joke.
Anyway, the bottom line here is that we're not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. I wouldn't be running if I didn't absolutely believe that I am the best candidate to beat Donald Trump in 2024. We had a Democratic nominating process where the voters spoke clearly. I won 14 million of those votes, et cetera. So I not only believe that from the beginning, but I wanted to reassert it and demonstrate that it's true. And I'm going to be doing that all through this week and from here on. Come on, give me a break. Come with me. Watch. I'm getting so frustrated by the elites. Now, I'm not talking about you guys, but about the elites in the party who they know so much more. But any of these guys don't think I should run against me. Go ahead, announce for president. Challenge me in the convention.
He's all in, Luigi.
Not intended. Yeah.
He's all in. Come on, Jack, give me a break, Jack. I'm staying in. Only fucking God can take me out. He's fucking all in.
By the way, to be fair, the only person that can push Joe Biden out is Joe Biden. Like there's nobody that can push Biden out at this point.
I mean, they can fuck with him, Luigi, in the convention, but I think realistically, you're right. He has to pull out.
Yeah, in the convention, we should mention is in a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rocky period until then.
By the way, did you see who came out in favor of Biden? Bernie Sanders came out in favor of Biden.
I thought you were going to say Chuck Norris or something, but sure.
Bernie,
wow. That's very unfortunate.
And I mean, come on, Bernard.
Yeah. He thinks Biden is his ally. He's going to throw his weight behind Biden. He might even campaign for Biden at this point.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, why did he not call on him to quit and have fucking Kamala there?
Because he doesn't listen to our podcast, George.
Yeah, but I mean, now realistically, reasonably now, why did he do it? Why did he back Biden? Did he not see the debate? He probably didn't watch the debate, to be honest. He
definitely did. No. I mean, Bernie has his ear on the ground. He definitely saw the debate. He knows what's up. Like his angle must be like the stability that Biden brings. I don't know, something like that. I think that Bernie knows Biden is not governing the country. So Biden is just a stooge at this point. I don't know.
And he likes Ron Klein. I don't remember his chief of staff. He likes people within Biden's administration.
Exactly. He thinks that the administration of Joe Biden has implemented
obviously
worker-friendly policies. Yeah, and they have, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give it to him. But the guy's dying. Why doesn't, I don't know, Ron Klein run then? I don't know.
That's a great question. I don't know. I want to
He looks so bad, Luigi. He looks so bad. And I saw there were videos running about lately, this past week after the debate, of his fucking interview just 4 years ago, before that election. And he sounds so much better, dude.
So, I mean, 4 years ago, he was old, but he could speak. Like, he was
mostly
there.
President, and he wasn't yet president. He didn't have all the fucking 4 years of endless fucking important decisions.
Why does he
It's...
want another 4 years of that is beyond me, honestly, at this point.
Did you
It's
hear
like,
that Hunter is egging him on? Did you hear
yeah,
this
yeah,
shit?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I read that.
Fuck you, Hunter. Fuck you. We
Not our
endorse
favorite
you.
Biden. Yeah,
Not our
not our
favorite
favorite Biden.
Biden at
Go
all.
back to go back to crack. It's not too late. Quit politics. Let your father retire, Hunter.
For fuck's sake, look at
Have
him.
a beer and a hamburger.
He's a slobbering mess, for fuck's sake. Can you imagine what he's going to do in the second debate, Luigi? I think it's in
No.
September. I
Yeah,
think it's
I
in
think
September.
we're gonna need to have like nurses with the what do we call it?
Defibrillators.
Defibrillators, yeah, next to him just to make sure.
Yeah, just to make sure he's probably going to shit his pants. We're going to have a guy shovel it away. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, folks. He's much better at home.
The Democrats are seriously going to go for it. What do you think? Which way? Because Chuck still hasn't said anything. And Chuck is important because he's the leader of the Senate. Hakim hasn't been clear who's the leader of the House.
These things are slow moving, and we
Yeah, they
still
are.
have like you're not gonna see a president. You're not gonna see like a civil war within the Democratic Party out of one bad debate, right?
Yeah.
But
A lot of
months,
Democrats have come out, surprisingly. And almost nobody has clearly vouched for Biden, apart from the brain dead dude, Fetterman, but who gives a shit?
yeah. Look, bottom line, I think it's gonna be a long 1.5 months. There is
Jesus.
I really think the betting markets are correct to price it in as they are right now. It's about 40% that Biden stays, and it's about 40% it's Kamala, and it's about 20% it's someone else. You just don't know. It's like too early. Maybe you have another interview fuck up at some point
I mean,
from
he keeps
Biden.
fucking up almost all his
Yeah.
interviews. So, I mean, my God, I think...
I mean, or the Democratic Party leadership, like the machine, let's say, sees the writing on the wall and says, "There's no way we win that way." But who do they bring in? I mean, as we said, your only Hail Mary is Michelle Obama. You have no other cards to play.
Make Obama make the fucking call. Obama has to make the call. Like, yo, Michelle.
Hello,
Michelle.
darling. Hi.
Darling, hi.
The country is calling on you, Michelle.
Michelle, country's calling.
I can be first lady now, Michelle.
But it's not gonna happen, Luigi. Let's not entertain the possibility because it's not happening. And she's obviously
Yeah.
allowed to choose whatever she wants to do with her
Look,
life.
if it's not
And
happening,
America should really not be hanging. The fucking balance of America should not just be hanging on Michelle fucking Obama.
we all agree. We all agree on that. If she's not running, though, the Democrats are not winning. So you heard it here first, folks.
It definitely ain't looking good. It definitely ain't looking good.
What's gonna happen at the end of the day? It's gonna be another 4 years of like deregulation, oil, like burning oil,
and pure degeneracy.
Yeah, cutting taxes on corporations, normalizing corruption, or like making abortion bans permanent, all of the nice stuff that Republicans bring to the table, right?
Plague, pestilence, annihilation.
Death.
And death. How could I forget the greatest one? But I mean, because let's finish. Yeah. I mean, we had good news at the start. We start with the good, we end with the bad, folks. What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We are not Keir Starmer. We do both good and bad things. All right. On that cheerful note, should we call it a week?
Yes. See you again, folks. See you probably next week, unless Biden drops out on Wednesday.
Radio Rocketman, over and out.
Bye-bye.